and then we can analyze it and we can tell them like what are all the techniques. Either you manually analyze it or through the tools. There is an online utility tool called GCEC. There is an online utility tool called GCEC. Through that tool, how we are going to analyze. And one more tool is there called GC Viewer. So using the tool, how we are going to analyze it. So all those things we are going to learn. So here also in heap dump and thread dump also I am going to show you there are two important tools, online tools, which is actually one is actually fastthread.io. Fastthread.io, which is actually the tool available through which you can easily analyze your thread dumps. Okay, and then your heap analysis also you can do it on the online utility tool as well. Heap analysis. Okay, so through that you can analyze. So now we are going to learn about out of memory or memory leak. Okay, because that is also interview question, right? Like what is out of memory, what is your memory leak, what are all the different types of out of memory error that are there. So how to overcome those error messages, like that we are going to learn the out of memory error analysis. So java.lang. Out of memory error, java heap space. Java.lang. Out of memory error, your function space, like that. Lot of error messages are there. So each and every error messages, what it is actually representing and how to overcome that out of memory error. All those explanations we are going to discuss in this section. So till here, what we are doing in an extensive, detailed way, we are learning the Java performance engineering concepts. Heap dump, thread dump, garbage collection, all those things we are going to learn it in a detailed way. So we don't want to only focus on the app layer alone, right? Because app layer alone is not your application. There are other spaces also there. Right? So what I did it, I added certain other topics so that it will be the complete coverage, 360 degree. We wanted to cover it. We wanted to have everywhere the performance engineering aspect to be incorporated, right? So that is the reason we added the infrastructure monitoring concept because right now that is also a problem. Most of the performance testers, they are not focusing on infrastructure level data. So what I wanted to do, we should focus on that layer also. Okay, because nowadays if they are asking this question to performance testers, what they are saying, no, there is a separate team available. I don't know how to do it. Like that they are saying. So you should know as a performance tester or engineering engineer, you should know what is actually happening. So the server concepts and then the Linux server concepts. Both the things we are going to learn how to do the monitoring. Answer for your problems. So Windows Server, a very famous concept called performance. Performance monitor. Okay, so we are going to learn, and then there are few critical metrics we are focusing on. Swapping means what, paging means what, or page faults means what, like that. We are going to learn certain metrics. First of all, and then we are going to collect your metrics. In performance, there is an option called data collector. There is an option called we should get data collector. Proper clarity. In that data collector set, you are going to add it, and then you are going to do the analysis. That also we are going to do clarity of. And the same thing similarly in Linux server also. There are utility commands are there. One is vmstat, netstat, iostat. Testing is what? All those things, and there is one more tool called enroll utility tool. Okay. So this tool is very important. So we are going to learn that tool also. Utility tool enroll. Using that, we are going to capture the CPU, capture the memory, capture the display metrics, and how we are going to analyze it, and how we are going to find the real world problem. That also we are going to do. So basically, we are doing a Windows server performance, Linux server side, there are utility tools and also enroll. So these are the things that we are going to learn with respect to the infrastructure monitoring, because not only performance engineering, not only tool level, like that. I mean, simply don't provide you to learn the engineering performance testing tool level. What are all the not going to be used right from the beginning? You should focus on other layers. So that's the reason we are focusing on Linux monitoring or the Windows monitoring also, so that then you are going to give the collective activities performed the tool level metric or your front is also very important because it is not a single activity. collective information so that the end user will be,
say something you are focusing on
the end user will get the complete information.
Something you are focusing on app layer,
and take a pass
something you are focusing on DB layer, something you are focusing on infrastructure layer, like that. Across the place you can focus on. Across the place you can show your interaction. Okay, you can do something on UI layer,
this comes under
something on app layer,
on-premise
something on
monitoring.
DB
Suppose
layer,
the
something
application
on
is on cloud,
infrastructure layer. Across the layer you can focus.
this won't be applicable.
That is how these activities performed
also,
by performance
that is the
engineer
same Windows
the
servers, the
picture.
same Linux servers.
Okay.
So you can
So
do it.
that also we are going to
Okay.
learn, because from that list only you are going to understand.
So once
these
after
are the
that,
bare
what
minimum
we
things
planned
I
is
have
that
to
at
learn
least we
so
wanted to
that
have
wanted
one
to do the
database
performance
flavor
engineering,
because we covered Java layer, we
engineering,
covered infrastructure layer, and we wanted to have one
so
database layer
introduction
to be
part
covered.
we are
So
going to
what we
clearly
planned,
understand
the very famous
what is performance
database,
testing,
which is actually the
what is
Oracle,
performance
right?
engineering,
So
what are all
we
the
added one
lifecycle
database
activities that are
monitoring
there,
flavor, which
and
is actually
what
Oracle
performance
DB.
engineer has to
So
perform.
in Oracle
So
DB,
all
you
those things
have
we
an
are going to
inbuilt
learn in
capability, which is actually your AWR
introduction
report,
part.
okay, automatic workload repository,
Okay.
AWR
Take a
report, and then
pause here into
ADDM
this
report.
question.
So we are going to discuss in detail about AWR report and ADDM report, and using that, how we are going to identify your performance bottleneck in the Oracle DB. That also we are going to discuss in a detailed way using the Oracle DB report. Okay, so that is what we are going to learn in this section. So everywhere people will ask this AWR report like that. So we are going to learn that in a detailed way so that you are also in a position to explain, is there any problem in your DBR part.
So
okay, yesterday also one learner who came and shared his experience with me. They mentioned like during the interview,
Java
we got
performance engineering.
the interviewer asked about
Java performance
AWR
engineering
reports, what are all the key metrics that you will monitor,
So,
how will you identify, is there any problem in the DBR, what are all the key metrics that you will monitor,
job
like
description.
that. They asked all the
interview,
questions. So we are going to discuss about AWR reports
everywhere.
Okay, and then
we are expecting
the next layer, which is
something
nobody is actually
Java
focusing on, actually your client side performance. Okay, because your performance testing tools is not providing the client side
Java
response
things
time.
that
It
you
is
are
not providing your
primary
browser layer number. It is not
JVM
providing, right? It is only
architecture
providing your server level number. So client side monitoring
So
also
this
we
will
are
give
going
you
to focus on
idea.
You are going to understand
Inside JVM
what
what
is
is actually
you should know what is your
inside JVM what are all the
objective, right?
components
Front-end
are there.
performance metrics
Each
means
component what is
client
actually
common
performing.
client side problem, what is
So
actually
memory where
happening,
it is actually
and then how your browser is actually
where the execution
rendering
is
or
actually
in what concepts, and
If you
then
wanted to
what
get
are all the
that
tools that are
understanding,
used to
you can
monitor
learn
your
about
client side
JVM
performance, like that we are going to
we are
discuss
going to discuss
detailed way. These three tools are very very famous.
and then JVM performance monitoring.
These tools are very very famous in the
very
market.
important,
We are
right?
going to
Because
learn each and every tool,
say like
and
in a
using the
small
tool, what are all the
program that you are
metrics? Say like time
a
to
small
first
Java
byte,
program that we are running.
time to interactive,
As per the
first
flow, what will
visual
happen?
change,
Any Java
download
program
time, full
will
load
use
time,
JVM to execute.
largest content
Java
in
virtual
range,
machine. Okay, Java
total
virtual
blocking
machine
time,
through which only your Java
cumulative
program
layout
can
shift, like that. Lot of key metrics
While
that
doing
are
that
there.
execution,
We are going to learn
so
those
inside
key
that,
things, because say
what
when
is
we are
happening
talking about these
with
things,
respect to
customer
heap
will be
memory,
very very happy because
what is
they are
happening with
expecting
respect
something
to
and you
thread,
are in a position to answer
what
to
is
their
happening
problems.
with respect to
So
garbage
we
collection.
are going to learn
So
that
all
in a
those
detailed
things
way
we
so
have
that
to
you can
monitor.
convince your customer. So
All those things we
the
have to
client side metric also you can provide.
JVM,
And then
what is happening with
profiling, which is very very important.
What is happening with respect to thread? What is happening with respect to
So
garbage?
whenever you are talking about engineering concepts,
Understand it.
profiling is
For that
always
we
comes into
need
the picture.
monitoring.
So we are going to
JVM
learn about code
monitoring.
profiling. In that we are going to learn one important
I
tool
mean,
called
those who are attending
JProfiler.
interview,
How to use that? What are all
usually
the
come and
monitoring
provide
activities
their
that you will do using
experience
the
with me.
JProfiler?
So
All those things we are
every
going to
time
discuss.
they are asking this question.
And then
This
very very important tool,
things.
every tool in the market,
that
which
is
is
what
actually
we
your
need to
Dynatrace tool we are going to discuss.
So which means that
Okay,
We'll
because if
also
you go and
learn
see
this
any job
concept in a
description
detailed way
or
so that
anywhere if you go,
you will be in a
definitely
position
one
to
APM tool will be
explain
there.
each and every
So
concept.
that too, Dynatrace is becoming
Okay.
very, very famous
So,
now in the
so
market.
what
So
are
you
all
know
the
we
things we
wanted
are
to
going
learn
to
that
do
more first.
and how we are
So,
going to do?
so
Can
that
you
is the
want to
reason
think?
we added
What
Dynatrace
are all
tool
the
in
things
this
that we
list.
are going to do?
So
How we are
we
going to
are
do?
going to learn
So there are
the
two
key
utility
concepts
tools which is
of
inside
Dynatrace
your
tool along with the
JDK
real world
solution,
example.
inside your JDK
So
folder.
we are
There are
going to
two
learn.
utility
Actually,
tools are
saying
there.
in
One
Isha,
is
there is a separate section
JVisual
that is
VM.
there.
Another one is
Extensively learning
JConsole.
Dynatrace. But
Two
here,
utility tools are there.
once we have
JVisual
started
VM.
discussing about the engineering concepts, right? We
So
don't
what
want
we
to
are
miss
going to
anything.
do?
So
We are
we
going
added
to
this
use
flavor
these
also
two tools
because we added one profiling
and we are
tool.
going to
We added
learn
utility tool, so we wanted
heap
to add
analysis,
APM tool
thread
flavor also. That is the
analysis,
reason we added this.
heap analysis
So we are
and
going to learn in
thread
a detailed
analysis.
way
To
about the
one extent,
Dynatrace
I'll also
APM tool.
explain the
And then
garbage collection
how
analysis.
to analyze your
Garbage
log,
collection
production log, and then
analysis.
what are all the
So with the
usual
real world
problem
example, I mean,
comes with respect to CPU, with
we are
respect to
having
memory,
one
with respect
sample
to response
application.
time. That
I'll
also we are
explain how
going to
to
learn
deploy that
because
sample
so
application
in
in
interview
each of your
mostly this
local
question is
machine.
actually coming, right?
In each of
They'll
your
ask
local
like
machine,
what are
how
all
to
the
deploy
problems that
that
you faced,
sample
what are
application.
all the usual
And
problems that
using
you are
that
facing
sample
in CPU side,
application, we
memory
are
side,
going to
response
learn
time, level
every
side, like
concept.
that they are asking this
Every
question.
concept we are going
So
to learn
if you are
within
learning
that
these two,
sample application.
if you are
So we
learning
are
these
going to
problem
see
statements,
how to deploy
it will
that,
easy for you
how
because
to
you can
use
tell
that
them like
application
these
for
are the
learning.
problem statements that are available.
That is what
These are the
we will
problem that I
learn.
faced. This is how they
So
resolve the
using
problem, like that you can
JVisual
explain.
VM and
So
JConsole
that
tool, we are
explanation
going
is
to
also
use it. We are
available.
going to do
I'll
this.
take a pass here. Any question facing you?
So next one, the same JVM monitoring, we are going to do using one more commercial tool called Your Kit Java Profile, which is one more
So,
commercial tool
guys,
called
those who wanted to
Your
enroll
Kit
for this
Java
course,
Profile. Your
so this
Kit
is the number,
Java Profile.
Kumar sir number. I'm
Okay,
copy pasting this
so
number in the
that
chat.
also we are going to learn in a detailed
Okay,
way
this is
because
Kumar
in
sir number.
certain organization, certain customer
Okay, I'm
they are
pasting it in
already
the
having
chat,
your kit Java
and
profiler.
I'm also
You
pasting
should
it
be in
here
a
also.
position to use that tool, right? So that is the reason we are learning a commercial solution for
This
the
is Kumar
JVM
sir
monitoring.
number.
Okay,
80
two open source
199
utility level tool
52
and one
42
commercial tool
7.
we are going
Okay,
to.
80
Okay, learning tool
199
is actually a
52
value add, right?
42
Everywhere you can
7.
add it in your
Okay,
resume.
so this is
You can
Kumar
say
sir
like,
number.
I
You
know
can
this
reach out to
tool, I
Kumar
know
sir
this
for any further
utility, like that you
information.
can
I mean,
explain to the
course
interviewer, right?
content, course
So
timing,
basically these tools are very,
or
very
commercial
important when
related
you are trying to
discussion,
learn
anything that you
performance
wanted to discuss, you
engineering
can discuss with
principles.
Kumar sir.
Okay.
Okay,
So
so
when we are doing this
this is
activity,
actually
there is
a
one more
weekday session,
thing that we
Monday
are
to
going
Friday.
to
Monday
do,
to
which is
Friday,
your
we are going to learn the
JVM
performance
heap
engineering
structure
concept.
understanding.
So as you all know, this time
JVM
slot
heap
7:30
structure.
a.m. to
Heap structure
8:30
means,
a.m.
I mean,
Indian time,
inside
IST
that,
time,
what is actually
correspondingly in other
happening? Inside
locations.
that,
Okay,
what is actually
so
happening? There is
7:30
something
a.m. to
called
8:30 a.m.
young generation.
So I think
There is
we
something
can
called
go through here.
old
Okay,
generation.
7:30
Something
a.m. to
called young
8:30
generation.
a.m. IST,
Something called old generation.
correspondingly in
These
other
two are called
locations.
as
Okay,
heap
so
memory.
you can
Okay,
do
in
the
Java,
conversion. So
JVM, young
this is
generation
actually
and
a
old
weekday
generation is
session.
actually called as
Every
heap
day
memory.
we'll record
Okay.
the session. Every day
So
we'll record the
inside
session,
that, what are all
and
the
we'll
things that
share
are
the
happening?
video
I'm
to
going to
you
explain with the
using the
picture.
YouTube playlist
So
URL.
I'll
YouTube
draw a
playlist
picture and
URL.
I'll show
So
you
those
how
videos
the
you are
memory
going
is
to have
actually
for
allocated,
lifetime
how
access.
the memory is
Lifetime
actually
access. Okay,
promoted,
you can watch
how
it any
minor
number of
GC is
time,
actually
any time,
happening,
even after
how
the
major
completion of the
GC
course,
that is
because
actually
that is your
happening, like
video. You are
that.
going to have it
We
for
are going
lifetime
to have a
access.
detailed
So this is
understanding
actually
of your
25 hours of the session.
garbage collection.
2-5. Okay, 2-5,
That is
25
very
hours of the
important, guys,
session.
because
Every day, one
when
hour we are going to
sometimes
take
what
it,
will happen,
like
customer
7:30
will
a.m.
ask
to
you to
8:30
do
a.m. Every
garbage
day,
collection
1 hour,
analysis,
25
daily
hours of
garbage
the session
collection
we are going to
analysis.
have it.
So in that time,
So
this
Monday to
explanation will
Friday,
be very, very useful because you
uh,
should know
Saturday, Sunday
what is
holiday,
happening
Monday to
in
Friday we
your
are going
heap
to have.
memory, how memory is
So
actually
each and
allocated in young
everything we are
generation,
going
how
to,
memory
I
is actually
mean,
promoted
the
to your
sample
old generation,
application or the
how many minor
software
GC
or the
that are
documents,
happening,
we are
how
going to
many
share
major
it through
GC that
Google
are
Drive.
happening,
So you guys
how
can
much of a
download
time it
it,
is taken for minor
set up
GC,
everything in
how
your
much of
machine
a time it is
also,
actually
learn
taken for
everything in the
major
real
GC,
world
is it under the normal
So
range,
that's also
or
there.
is it actually
Even
having a
basically
problem
you are
like
going
that?
to have a
You are
lifetime
going to do
access.
the analysis. You are going to do
Any
the
question, guys?
analysis. That explanation we are
Yes,
Sir,
going to
I
see
have
in this topic.
yeah,
This
go
topic we
ahead.
are going to learn
Go ahead,
in a
Deepak.
uh
detailed way
yeah,
garbage collection.
how much knowledge of JMeter
We'll
is
take a pause here.
required
Any
for
question
this
basically?
because I am new to JMeter, so I just want to ask.
See, this course is designed to have advanced knowledge from the performance testing to performance engineering also, right?
Sir, any
So you
paid
don't
tools
really
that
focus on
is
Jmeter.
Dynatrace
Jmeter is
or
very,
any other tools we
I
will be
mean,
discussing
few
by the end?
percentage only you are focused on
Yes,
Jmeter
Aditya.
here.
If you
Remaining all is
see
actually
down,
your
you will have
conceptual understanding, how you are going
Dynatrace.
to focus on the
Look at
problem
you.
statement, like that
Dynatrace is
only
there.
the discussion will be. So
Okay,
yes,
fine, fine.
you can use Jmeter, because in my course also in certain place I use Jmeter to create traffic. I'm not
So
going to do any testing with Jmeter. I'm going to use
back to the
Jmeter to
flow.
create traffic. Say like 10 user load, 50 user load, like that, to create
So
traffic. I'm
here,
going to
as
use
I
it.
mentioned,
That also you don't require knowledge at all,
we
because
are
I'm
going to
going to
learn
share the
about
sample
minor
script to
GC, major
you.
GC,
Okay,
full
and
GC,
you are
like
going
that.
to
And
use the Jmeter tool
there is
to
one
trigger
more
the
thing
load. That is
called
the bare
keep
minimum understanding
setting.
you should have it with
Keep
the Jmeter.
setting. Okay.
Other than that,
I mean,
still
those who are
without
already
Jmeter also
working
you
in
can still
Jmeter
learn
tool,
this
maybe you
course.
guys already
Because
worked on
our
it,
focus is not on
and
the
everybody
Jmeter,
should
our
know
focus
like
is
how
only to
to
create the traffic using
configure
Jmeter.
your min size and
That's how
max size in
we are going
submax
to learn
and then
this.
XMX value.
Okay.
Okay,
How to
and
configure your min
you
size and
said
max
it's
size value.
25 hours
That is
session.
actually very
So by
important,
when we
because
are going
based
to
on your
record this
keep
complete
setting
session?
only, your minor GC,
Tomorrow
major
is the
GC
day
is
one.
going to happen. Based
Okay,
on the keep
tomorrow is the
setting
day.
only, the time
Okay,
taken for the minor
thanks.
GC and major
Yeah,
GC is
tomorrow is
also
the day one.
decided.
Don't miss it,
So we have to
because
learn that. So we are
definitely
going
a
to
lot
cover
of
that
things we
aspect.
are discussing, lot of
And
technical jargons
there
and
are
things that we are
different types
discussing.
of
So
garbage
it's good that you have a
collections.
continuous learning.
Different types
So
of
tomorrow is the day
garbage
when we are going to cover.
collections. Okay. What are all the
Okay.
different types we are going to
Yeah,
learn?
and
Serial
this will be
garbage
like
collection,
1 hour every day. So
parallel garbage
20
collector,
next 25
concurrent
weekdays are
mark
going
and
to be
sweep
occupied.
collector,
That
Yes,
correct?
and G1 GC,
yes,
garbage
yeah.
first garbage collector.
Okay.
So,
Another
so
question,
all
like
these
I
things we
come
are
from a
going to
like
learn with
completely
example. Why we have to
non-performance
choose this?
engineering
What
or
applications
non-performance
that are
testing background.
preferably
Just
using
have
these
idea of
garbage
functional
collectors?
testing.
Okay.
No
Even
problem. No problem
even
in
I
that.
don't know how
So
many of
see,
them
our discussion always,
checked
I'm
this
not going
before.
to straight away
Okay,
jump into
say
the
like
ocean.
I'm going
So
to my
what will I do? Always
Jmeter
I'll give
folder.
the
I'm
first
going to my Jmeter
introduction about
folder.
each and everything, and
I'm
then
just
only I'll explain the
opening
topic. So once you
Jmeter
are learning this,
dot
definitely your
batch,
interest will be
Jmeter
more
dot
in
batch,
learning the
okay,
performance
which
testing
is
concepts also.
which is a file
Definitely
used
that will
to
come.
open your
Okay, because
Jmeter, right? So
that's how
so
the
Jmeter
course
dot
is
batch
actually
file is
designed.
go.
So
And
what you can do, maybe
so look
once
at
we
here,
are
it is
doing this,
actually using
we can also
GDBC.
parallelly see your performance testing
Jmeter is actually
fundamentals.
using
Okay, not a
G1
detailed
GC.
learning, the fundamental
Okay.
things like
So
hits per
so this
second
is
means
very
what,
important,
throughput means
because
what, or
everywhere
request means what,
whenever you are
response
doing
means what,
any
like that. A
activity,
basic
the first and
understanding if you are
foremost
having
thing
it,
what you have to
that
understand,
will also
to understand
value add.
what is
Okay, that is
actually
actually a value add
happening.
if you are doing. But other than that,
Because of
our course
the
is
selection of your
still
garbage
you can
collection, is there any
learn,
improvement
because
in your
that's how the
garbage
course is
collection?
actually
That is
designed.
what the
From
first
the
and foremost
fundamental only we are
understanding
starting everything.
you are
It is
going to
not
get.
about
So
performance
for that,
testers to becoming
what we are
performance
going to
engineer.
learn, we are
Even
going
a
to
college
learn
passed out
serial
student,
garbage
how they
collector,
become a performance engineer. That
parallel
is the
garbage
focus of
collector,
this course content itself.
concurrent
So no
mark
problem
and
for you.
sweep garbage
You can easily
collector,
understand.
G1
And
garbage
if there
collector.
is any real
And
question,
then
either you ask in the session itself,
JVM
or
thread
if you
pooling
feel like
concepts.
I feel like
That
this
is
is
also
actually a
very
silly question
important,
or
right?
something like
Because
that. No problem.
say I am
Even after the
assigning a
session, you
task.
can connect with
I
me.
mean
We'll
assigning a
discuss it.
task in the sense like I'm
Okay.
performing a task in the
Okay. Another
application.
question is like,
How the
what is
task
the
is actually
objective
assigned
of
to
this
a
course?
thread
Like to
pool,
clear the
how the activity
interview
is
or
actually
like getting a good
completed,
understanding of the
all those
performance
things we
skills?
are going to learn. All those things we are
Both.
going
Actually, what is
to
actually
learn.
happening?
But
So
like,
in that
sorry to
learning, we
interrupt
are
you,
going
but
to learn
in
about
case
what
I
is
go
core
for
pool
any
size,
interview at this
what
point
is
of time,
bounded queue, unbounded queue,
anyone
what is
at least
max
ask
queue
for like
size, like
four
that.
five
We are going
years
to
of
learn
experience in
certain
performance testing,
concepts
which is,
also,
I
because that
mean,
is very important.
that is
So when you are
not
doing the thread pooling implementation for your
attainable
application, which one
anywhere.
you have to
Like
focus
unless
on?
I
That
work in a
also
performance
we
engineering
are
role, I
learning in
guess
this
I won't
session.
have any experience in
Okay.
it.
And then
So how I'm going to
and then
fill
we
up
are
that
going to
gap?
learn about JDBC
How I'm
connection.
going to justify?
That is
JDBC
how we are going to
connection point.
learn things,
Okay,
Ravi.
so in
The focus area
database,
is we are
how the
learning things
JDBC
in a
connection point is
detailed way,
actually
the
working, right?
performance engineering
That
concepts and
understanding
all.
also we are
That
going
will
to learn.
make you more
Next one is
confident to take
very
the
very
freshers
important
first. That is
concept,
the
which is
primary
actually
thing we are
your
learning this kind of
thread dump
course
analysis.
and all. Okay,
JVM
so
thread
that will
dump
definitely make you
analysis.
comfortable to attend the interview.
Because
But
everywhere
rest other
answer this
things that
questions
you can
actually.
manage. I mean,
The query where you have to
yeah, things and all,
answer these
because
questions.
our
So
course will
first we
definitely
should know what is random.
motivate you or make yourself comfortable in taking any questions. I mean,
taking the
it is not about
thread
4 years by
snapshot
16
during
8 year
the
question and
problematic
all.
situation.
This is actually
Thread dump
definitely will
means
help you to crack the
there is a
interviews and
problem.
all. That's how every
That time
learner
you are
they are
taking the
facing
snapshot of the
that.
threads that
Remaining
are
things
running
that
at
you
that
can
moment.
focus on.
Snapshot
Okay.
of threads that are running at that.
Okay, and
So
like
which means that
unless
thread
until
dump
like
you are taking
like it
and you are
takes
going to
time for
analyze
grasp the
inside the
learning,
thread
unless
dump
until you
what is
work on a
actually
real
happening.
time environment,
Inside the thread dump,
you don't
I'm
get
going
what is
the
actually
concept.
I'm going to
One
explain
part
the
and the practical thing is
okay.
another.
so
Yeah, I'm going to explain the real
during
world
that
example.
activity, first you should
Okay.
know the life
So
cycle
see,
of the thread.
we are
That is
discussing in
also
a forum.
important. Any interview,
I cannot say
they'll
you
also
put
ask the
a fake
thread life
certificate of
cycle
4
also.
years or
I
6
mean,
years
what
or
is
8 years
new
like
thread,
that.
runnable
I'm not
thread,
supposed to tell that,
waiting
right?
threads, time
It's up to
waiting
your
threads,
confidence
log
because
threads,
everybody in the
terminated
industry they are
threads, like
actually
that.
doing that. If
Life
you go and
cycle also
ask
you should
anybody,
know.
they'll say 10 years performance testing. Who
Life
knows
cycle
they are
also you
doing a
should
10
know.
years performance
Then
testing?
only
They
you
might
can
have done
comment
2
on
years, 3 years
whether
also.
the thread is
But I
actually
should not
normal or
tell that
whether
to
the
you
thread
on.
is
It's
actually
up to
facing
your
any
decision
problem.
making. You can
Okay, for that you should
decide
know
what
the
you actually
life
expected to
cycle,
do.
thread life
But
cycle
this
you should
course will
understand.
definitely help you
Okay,
to
and
go
then
for the interview, crack the interview, and all.
various thread
For
dump
sure, it will
tools,
definitely help you. But rest of the things it's
utility
your
tools that
decision.
are available in the
Okay.
JDK folder, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or
Okay.
are external tools that are available. Even AppDynamics is
Sir,
actually available to take the thread dump.
actually, I work
Okay,
for
so like that,
multiple projects,
what
but
are
I
all the
haven't
options
got
that
into
are
the performance
available? Even
engineering
your
side.
A Visual VM is
So,
there.
with this
Okay,
session,
so
will I
all
be
those
able
utility
to
tool
drill
level,
down in terms of
and then we
when
are
the
going to
test is run and
capture the thread
administrators
dump
have been
as well.
gotten?
Okay, how to
Uh,
capture the
to
thread dump.
drill down in
So we
real
are
time
going to
completely,
learn
would I able to
what
do
are all
it
the different
confidently?
tools that are
I just
available
want to
Definitely.
have
and how we
confidence.
are going to
Definitely,
capture it in the
definitely
real
we
time.
Uh,
help you because that
Not
is
only
the primary
capturing,
focus
we
area,
are
right?
going to
Because
learn the way to
what's
analyze the
happening
thread,
in performance
how
testing
to
that we are
analyze.
doing, nowadays we are
Okay,
only
you have
providing
to
numbers.
read your stack
Average
trace.
once time hits the
yeah.
certain
Read your stack
error like that, we
trace
are giving the
and then
numbers.
analyze,
But you
is
should
there
know
a
the reason
problem
for
or
the
not?
number, right?
Is it a blocked thread
Where it is actually
or is it
happening.
a
What
waiting
for
thread?
you are
Is
getting
it a
this number?
runnable thread? Why it is actually
That is the
blocked for
reason we are
longer
learning
period of
actually.
time? Why it is actually
Okay, so
waiting for
that you can
longer
easily
period of
do.
time?
Oh,
Why it is actually runnable for
okay,
longer
sir.
period of time? Like that, we are going to analyze it. We are going to analyze it. Based on that, we are going to
So
understand
those who wanted
the
to
thread is
enroll
actually
yourself for
normal
this course
or thread
content,
is
as I
actually
mentioned, you
facing a
can reach out to
problem or
Kumar
not.
sir,
So
80199247
that
is
analysis
his
also we
number.
are going to do
You can
with
reach
the
out to
real
Kumar
world
sir. From tomorrow we are
example.
going to have
Real
our
world
day one
example
session.
we
Please
are going to learn.
enroll yourself. You don't want to miss
I'll
any
take a
core
pass. Any
concepts,
question is
core
there?
content that we
Anything
are
else?
discussing. So enroll yourself for the continuous learning. Thanks each and every one of you who joined today for the evaluation.
I
I
have a
mean,
question here.
for the demo session.
Yes.
Thanks each and every one of you for
So,
giving me this opportunity to share my
we
knowledge and
specifically
experience
talked
with you
about
people.
JVM
I'm going to
and
definitely
like
will
understanding the Java
justify for
performance
whatever the things
architecture.
that you are expecting
Mm,
from us.
I'm not sure
So
whether
thanks
my
for
question
joining
is
and
right
have
or
a
not,
nice day. Bye
but
bye.
isn't it will be true for the application developed on Java
Thanks
platform?
everyone.
How
Goodbye.
about the application that has been developed on other platform like .NET? So will this be usable over there as well?
See, partial information would be useful because fundamental concepts are concepts only. But there are technical things, there are terms and terminology which are specific to those as well. And even I'm planning to implement a .NET flavor also here, a small flavor into this course content as well. But earlier, what happened? We had a separate course running in Isha Training Solution itself. Okay, separate .NET Performance Engineering. So that is the reason we did not have a flavor of .NET into this course content. So I think we started receiving a good amount of feedback from the learners. So we are planning to have at least few concepts related to .NET as well, Ravi. So we'll discuss that, no problem. If you are more keen on that, I'll try to add one or two topics in this course journey itself.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So not only thread dump analysis we are going to learn, actually we are going to learn heap dump analysis also. Heap dump. Okay, what is heap dump? Taking the heap snapshot during the problematic situation. Taking the heap snapshot during the problematic situation. Okay, and we are also going to check out like what are all the different tools that are available to take the heap dump. and we are going to capture the heap dump, and we are going to learn how to analyze the heap dump, because we wanted to understand what is actually happening in the heap dump, which is actually contributing in more memory, which is actually taking more time. Like that, we are going to do our analysis using the heap dump, whatever the heap dump that we are capturing, right? Through that, we are going to learn. Through that, we are going to learn. Okay. So we are going to say like which are all the top 10 biggest objects, or which are contributing to more memory. If it is contributing to more memory, which is actually creating more response time or what, like that, we are going to do our investigation using the heap dump analysis. Heap dump analysis. So thread dump analysis, heap dump analysis. Okay, this heap dump analysis, the heap dump capture feature is actually available in Dynatrace. Okay, so which means that you can use that tool for your heap dump capture as well. Okay, and then next very important topic is your garbage collection analysis, because that is also important. That is also important because, so say like your infrastructure team is actually collecting a GC log, and then if they are sharing that information to you, example, okay, you should be in a position to analyze the GC log and understand what is actually happening, how much minor GC that is actually happening, how much major GC that is actually happening, or how much of a time that is actually taken for your minor GC, how much of a time that is actually taken for your major GC, like that. You should be in a position to analyze, and frequent minor GC is a problem, frequent major GC is actually a problem. So you are going to analyze that as well. So for that, what you have to do, first you need to configure the JVM argument to capture the GC log. Okay, GC log you are going to analyze, it means you should capture the GC log using the JVM argument that you are going to add inside your application. And then we can analyze it, and we can tell them like what are all the techniques. Either you manually analyze it or through the tool. There is an online utility tool called GCEC. There is an online utility tool called GCEC. Through that tool, how we are going to analyze. And one more tool is there called GC Viewer. So using the tool, how we are going to analyze it. So all those things we are going to learn. So here also in heap dump and thread dump also, I am going to show you. There are two important tools, online tool, which is actually, one is actually fastthread.io. Fastthread.io, which is actually the tool available through which you can easily analyze your thread dumps. Okay. And then your heap analysis also, you can do it on the online utility tool as well. Heap analyzer. Okay. So through that you can analyze it. So now we are going to learn about out of memory or memory leak. Okay, because that is also interview question, right? Like what is out of memory, what is your memory leak, what are all the different types of out of memory error that are there. So how to overcome those error messages, like that we are going to learn the out of memory error analysis. So java.lang out of memory error, java heap space, java.lang out of memory error, your permgen space, like that. Lot of error messages are there. So each and every error messages, what it is actually representing and how to overcome that out of memory error, all those explanations we are going to discuss in this section. So till here what we are doing in an extensive detailed way, we are learning the Java performance engineering concepts. Heap dump, thread dump, garbage collection, all those things we are going to learn it in a detailed way. So we don't want to only focus on the app layer alone, right? Because app layer alone is not your application. There are other spaces also there, right? So what I did it, I added certain other topics so that it will be the complete coverage, 360-degree. We wanted to cover it. We wanted to have everywhere the performance engineering aspect to be incorporated, right? So that is the reason we added the infrastructure monitoring concepts also, because right now that is also a problem. Most of the performance testers, they are not focusing on infrastructure level data. So what I wanted to do, we should focus on that layer also. Okay, because nowadays if you are asking this question to performance testers, what they are saying, no, there is a separate team available. I don't know how to do it. Like that they are saying. So you should know, as a performance tester or performance engineer, you should know what is that actually happening. So we are going to learn a Windows Server concepts and then the Linux Server concepts as well. Both the things we are going to learn how to do the monitoring. So Windows Server, the very famous concept called performance monitor. Okay, Perfmon we are going to learn, and then there are few critical metrics we are focusing on. Swapping means what, paging means what, or page faults means what, like that. We are going to learn certain matrices. Okay, and then we are going to collect your metric in Perfmon. There is a option called data collector set. There is an option called data collector set. In that data collector set, you are going to add it and then you are going to do the analysis. That also we are going to focus on. And the same thing, similarly in Linux server also, there are utility commands are there. One is vmstat, netstat, iostat, top, all those things. And there is one more tool called nmon utility tool. Okay. So this tool is very, very important. So we are going to learn that tool also. Utility tool nmon. Using that, you are going to capture the CPU, capture the memory, capture the disk utilization metrics, and how we are going to analyze it and how we are going to find the real world problem. That also we are going to discuss. So basically, Windows Server Perfmon, Linux server side, there are utility tools and also nmon. So these are the things that we are going to learn with respect to the infrastructure monitoring, because not only tool level metric, I mean, simply don't provide your performance testing tool level metric. That is not going to be useful, right? So you should focus on other layers as well. So that's the reason we are focusing on what? Linux monitoring or the Windows monitoring also, so that you are going to give the collective information. Your tool level metric or your front-end level metric, your DB level metric, your infrastructure level metric, like that, you are going to give them collective information so that the end user will get the complete information. Okay, that is what we are doing it. I'll take a pass here. Any question, please?
So this comes under on-premise monitoring. Suppose the application is on cloud, so then this won't be applicable, right?
No, cloud also, that is the same Windows server, the same Linux server, right? So you can do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So once after that, what we planned is that at least we wanted to have one database flavor into it, because we covered Java layer, we covered infrastructure layer, and we wanted to have one database layer to be covered. So what we planned, the very famous database, which is actually the Oracle DB, right? So we added one database monitoring flavor, which is actually Oracle DB. So in Oracle DB, you have a inbuilt capability, which is actually your AWR report, okay, automatic workload repository, AWR report, and then ADDM report. So we are going to discuss in detail about AWR report and ADDM report, and using that, how we are going to identify your performance bottleneck in the Oracle DB. That also we are going to discuss in a detailed way using the Oracle DB report. Okay, so that is what we are going to learn in this section. So everywhere people will ask this AWR report like that. So we are going to learn that in a detailed way, so that you are also in a position to explain, is there any problem in your DB or what? Okay, yesterday also one learner who came and shared his experience with me. They mentioned, like, during the interview, the interviewer asked about AWR reports. What are all the key metrics that you will monitor? How will you identify, is there any problem in the DB or what? What are all the key metrics that you will monitor, like that? They asked all the questions, it seems. So we are going to discuss about AWR reports as well. Okay, and then the next layer, which is nobody is actually focusing on, actually your client side performance. Okay, because your performance testing tools is not providing the client side response time, it is not providing your browser layer number. It is not providing, right? It is only providing your server level number. So client side monitoring also we are going to focus on. We are going to understand the what is you should know what is your objective, right? Front end performance metrics means what, common client side problem, what is actually happening, and then how your browser is actually rendering in what concepts, and then what are all the tools that are used to monitor your client side performance. Like that we are going to discuss in a detailed way. These three tools are very very famous. I hope everybody already aware of it. These tools are very very famous in the market. We are going to learn each and every tool, and using the tool what are all the metrics, say like time to first byte, time to interactive, first visual change, on load time, full load time, largest contentful paint, total blocking time, cumulative layout shift. Like that lot of key matrices that are there, we are going to learn those things because say when you are talking about these things, you know, customer will be very very happy because they are expecting something and you are in a position to answer to their problem statement. So we are going to learn that in a detailed way so that you can convince your customer. So the client side metric also you can provide, and then profiling, which is very very important. Code profile. Okay, so whenever you are talking about engineering concepts, profiling is all the way comes into the picture. So we are going to learn about code profiling. In that we are going to learn one important tool called JProfiler, how to use that, what are all the monitoring activity that you will do using the JProfiler. All those things we are going to discuss. And then very very important tool, APM tool in the market, which is actually your Dynatrace tool, we are going to discuss. Okay, because if you go and see any job description or anywhere, if you go, definitely one APM tool will be there. So that too, Dynatrace is becoming very very famous now in the market. So we wanted to learn that tool first. So that is the reason we added Dynatrace tool in this list. So we are going to learn the key concepts of Dynatrace tool along with the real world example. So we are going to learn, actually saying in Isha there is a separate section that is there extensively learning Dynatrace, but here once we are started discussing about the engineering concepts, right, we don't want to miss anything. So we added this flavor also because we added one profiling tool, we added utility tool, so we wanted to add APM tool flavor also. That is the reason we added this. So we are going to learn in a detailed way about the Dynatrace APM tool, and then how to analyze your log, production log, and then what are all the usual problem comes with respect to CPU, with respect to memory, with respect to response time. That also we are going to learn because so in interview mostly this question is actually coming, right? They'll ask like what are all the problem that you faced, what are all the usual problem that we are facing in CPU side, memory side, response time level side. Like that they are asking this question. So if you are learning these two, if you are learning these problem statements, you know, it is easy for you because you can tell them like these are the problem statements that are available, these are the problem that I faced, this is how they resolve the problem. Like that you can explain to them. So that explanation is also available. I'll take a pass here. Any question guys still know? So guys, those who wanted to enroll for this course, so this is a number, Kumar sir number. I'm copy pasting this number in the chat. Okay, this is Kumar sir number, Kumar. Okay, I'm pasting it in the chat and I'm also pasting it here also. Okay. Okay, this is Kumar sir number 8019952427. Okay, 8019952427. Okay, so this is Kumar sir number. You can reach out to Kumar sir for any further information. I mean course content, course timing, or commercial related discussion, anything that you wanted to discuss, you can discuss with Kumar sir. Okay, so this is actually a weekday session, Monday to Friday. Monday to Friday, we are going to learn the performance engineering concept. So as you all know, this time slot 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Indian time, IST time, correspondingly in other locations. Okay, so 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. So I think you can go through here. Okay, 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. IST, correspondingly in other locations. Okay, so you can do the conversion. So this is actually a weekday session. Every day we'll record the session. Every day we'll record the session and we'll share the video to you using the YouTube playlist URL. YouTube playlist URL. So those videos you are going to have for lifetime access. Lifetime access. Okay. You can watch it any number of time, any time, even after the completion of the course, because that is your video. You are going to have it for lifetime access. So this is actually 25 hours of a session. 2-5. Okay, 25 hours of a session. Every day, one hour we are going to take it, like 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Every day, one hour, 25 hours of a session we are going to have it. So Monday to Friday is a uh, uh, Saturday, Sunday holiday. Monday to Friday we are going to have the session. So each and everything we are going to, I mean, the sample application or the software or the documents, we are going to share it through Google Drive. So you guys can download it, set up everything in your machine, also learn everything in the real world manner. Okay. So that also we are going to do, and these videos you are going to have a lifetime access. Any question, Kestilda?
Yes,
Sir, I have
yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Dipti.
yeah. How much knowledge of Jmeter is required for this? Because I am new to Jmeter, so I just want to ask.
See, this course is designed to have advanced knowledge from the performance testing to performance engineering also, right? So you
Mm-hmm.
don't really focus on Jmeter. Jmeter is very, I mean, few percentage only you are focused on Jmeter here. Remaining all is actually your conceptual understanding, how you are going to focus on the problem statement, like that only the discussion will be. So yes, you can use Jmeter, because in my course also in certain place I'll use Jmeter to create traffic. I'm not going to do any testing with Jmeter. I'm going to use Jmeter to create traffic. Say like 10 user load, 50 user load, like that, to create traffic. I'm going to use it. That also you don't require knowledge and all, because I'm going to share the sample script to you. Okay. And you are going to use the Jmeter tool to trigger the load. That is the bare minimum understanding you should have it in the Jmeter. Other than that, still without Jmeter also you can still learn this course. Okay, because our focus is not on the Jmeter, our focus is only to create the traffic using the Jmeter. That's how we are going to learn this. Okay.
Okay, and you said it's 25 hours session. So by when you're going to kick off this complete session? From
Tomorrow is the day one.
okay, tomorrow is the day one. Okay,
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah, tomorrow is the day one. Don't miss it, because definitely a lot of things we are discussing, a lot of technical jargons and things that we are discussing. So it's good that you have a continuous learning. So tomorrow is the day one. We are going to have that.
Okay.
And Sarvanan, this will be like 1 hour every day. So like next 25 weekdays are going to be occupied. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes, Ravi. Yeah.
Okay. Another question, like I come from a like completely non-performance engineering or non-performance testing background. Just have an idea of functional testing.
No
So,
problem. No problem.
um,
So see, our discussion always, I'm not going to straight away jump into the ocean. So what will I do? Always I'll give the first introduction about each and everything, and then only I'll explain the topic. So once you are learning this, definitely your interest will be more in learning the performance testing concepts also. Definitely that will come. Okay, because that's how the course is actually designed. So what you can do, maybe once we are doing this, you can also parallelly see your performance testing fundamentals. Okay, not a detailed learning, the fundamental things like hits per second means what, throughput means what, or request means what, response means what, like that. A basic understanding if you are having it, that will also value add. Okay, that is actually a value add if you are doing. But other than that, our course is still you can learn, because that's how the course is actually designed. From the fundamental only we are starting everything. It is not about performance testers to becoming performance engineer. Even a college passed out student, how they become a performance engineer, that is what the focus of this course content itself. So no problem for you, you can easily understand it. And if there is any real question, either you ask in the session itself, or if you feel like no, I feel like this is actually a silly question or something like that, no problem. Even after the session, you can connect with me. We'll discuss that. Okay.
Okay. Another question is like, what is the objective of this course? Like to clear the interview or like getting an understanding of the performance concept?
Both. Actually, what is actually happening?
But like, sorry to interrupt you, but in case I go for any interview at this point of time, anyone at least asks for like 4 or 5 years of experience in performance testing, which is, I mean, that is not attainable any way. Like unless I work in a performance engineering for 4 or 5 years, I won't have an experience. So how I'm going to fill up that gap, man?
Yeah,
How
see,
I'm going to justify?
that is how we are going to learn things, Ravi. The focus area is we are learning things in a detailed way, the performance engineering concepts and all. That will make you more confident to take the questions first. That is a primary thing we are learning this kind of course and all. Okay, so that will definitely make you comfortable to attend the interview. But rest of the things that you can manage, I mean, the gap things and all, because our course will definitely motivate you or make yourself comfortable in taking any questions. I mean, it is not about 4 years question, 8-year question and all. This is actually definitely will help you to crack the interviews and all. That's how every learner they are giving their feedback. Remaining things that you can focus on. Okay.
Mm, okay. And like, unless until like, like it takes time for grasp the learning, unless until you work on a real time environment, you don't
I'm going
really
to,
get the concept.
I'm going
Theory
to
is one
explain
part
the
and the practical thing is
yeah.
another.
Yeah, I'm going to explain the real world example only. Okay, so see, we are discussing in a forum now. I cannot say you put a fake certificate of 4 years or 6 years or 8 years like that, right? I'm not supposed to tell that, right? So it's up to your confidence, because everybody in the industry they are actually doing that. If you go and ask anybody, they'll say 10 years performance testing. Who knows they are doing a 10 years performance testing? They might have done 2 years, 3 years only. But I should not tell that to you and all, right? It's up to your decision making. You can decide what you are actually expected to do, but this course will definitely help you to go for the interview, crack the interview and all that. For sure it'll help you, but rest of the things it's your decision making. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Sir, hello. Actually, I work for multiple projects, but I haven't got into the performance engineering side. So, with this session, will I be able to drill down in terms of when the test is run and test results have been gotten, uh, to drill down in real time completely? Could I able to do it confidently?
Yes,
I just want to
definitely.
have confidence.
Definitely it will help
Uh,
you, because that is a primary focus area, right? Because what's happening when performance testers they are doing, they are nowadays they are only providing numbers, average response time, hits per
yeah.
second, put a error like that. They are giving the numbers, but you should know the reason for the numbers, right? Why, where it is actually happening, what for you are getting this number. That is the reason we are learning the engineering concept, Meena. Okay, so that you can easily get down.
Oh, oh,
Yeah,
okay, sir. Thank you.
yeah, sure. So those who wanted to enroll yourself for this course content, as I mentioned, you can reach out to Kumar sir. 80199524227 is number. You can reach out to Kumar sir. From tomorrow, we are going to have our day one session. Please enroll yourself. We don't want to miss any core concepts, core content that we are discussing. So enroll yourself for the continuous learning. Thanks each and every one of you who joined today for the evaluation. I mean, for the demo session. Thanks each and every one of you for giving me this opportunity to share my knowledge and experience with you people. I'm going to definitely will justify for whatever the things that you are expecting from us. So thanks for joining and have a nice day. Bye bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye bye.